Hello everyone and welcome back to Brotato. I am Duke Silver, and today we're going to be checking out the Sick Potato for this Danger 5 run. So Sick Potato, kind of a weirdly named potato, but here we go. It starts with 12 max HP, and also you get 25% extra lifesteal to start, which is huge. So that's 25% extra chance to heal 1 HP per attack. So it's not 25% of weapon damage. But yeah, the downsides are pretty significant. You take 1 damage per second. This does not give you any invulnerability. And also you get negative 100 HP regen, so you have to rely on this lifesteal to make up for this damage you're taking every second. And 1 damage a second, that adds up a lot. I mean, that's why you have the extra max health here. So this is definitely, I feel like this has more downside than upside, but I mean, lifesteal is kind of abusable, so we're going to do our best to do that here anyways. Okay, and so for this, because we want high rate of fire weapons to take full advantage of this extra lifesteal, we are going to start with the SMG, which is just a very, very high rate of fire weapon. And it's going to be Danger 5, of course. Here we go. But yeah, again, we just want to concentrate on getting a high rate of fire to really abuse this lifesteal and make sure we keep our health high. Taking 1 damage per second is a lot. And yeah, if you start taking hits, then that can add up very, very quickly. Get a second SMG now, and a third, and there's a fourth that we get to lock. So pretty productive first turn, getting 3 SMGs here. We're basically just gonna kind of sort of lean into the classic, just ranged high rate of fire build. So we want lots of flat range damage. We're not going to concentrate too much on percentage damage until a little bit later. And we do probably want to increase our lifesteal just by a little bit, but we probably don't need too much more to really fully take advantage of the ability here, or of the high rate of fire. Anyhow, we get a little bit of extra HP. We get our 4th SMG there. There's a shotgun which we're gonna lock. I like taking shotguns to complement SMGs, just because they kind of do sort of separate jobs, but they also scale really well together, since they both want flat damage as they're shooting a lot of projectiles. But the shotgun's is better at taking out sort of higher bigger groups of enemies, I would say, because the spread is wider. Whereas with the SMGs, you're kind of concentrating in one spot all at once. We do take some percentage damage there, and there's our shotgun. I'm gonna take the Scar. It's gonna give us some extra XP early, which can be very good. Something I don't really like picking up a ton of the XP items, but if we can get a couple early, then I don't mind that. It just accelerates the frequency of our level ups, which makes us stronger overall, relatively quicker. Especially when we get higher rarity level ups and whatnot later on, which is helped by taking some luck. So. Alright, we don't want the weird ghost. We want to have more than 1 HP to start, because that would be instant death for us. We can pick up the Scar here, and we just need to find one more weapon to finish our build, our inventory here. We took another shotgun, so yeah, we basically 4 SMGs and 2 shotguns, I think, is a pretty good balance. So we've got that here, and we've got another SMG locked in shop. And yeah, you can see, I mean, just how effective the wave clear is with these guns. It's tough for anything to get close. We do need to start picking up some damage relatively quickly, as we are only doing 3 damage per projectile. But the rate of fire is still putting enemies down relatively quickly here. Take a range damage there, and we get an SMG. There's some pickup range, which I'm a big fan of pickup range, but we do pass it by there. We do get some knockback. Knockback is going to go a long way with these SMGs, especially against some of the higher armored enemies that are susceptible to knockback, the mummies, later on in the game. They can kind of push through your SMGs later on if you don't have any knockback. So having a boxing glove or two by the time you fight them is, I think, pretty important with this setup. And you can see we're just we're still not doing quite we're getting 4 damage with our upgraded guns and 3 damage with our regular guns, so we really need to pick up some flat damage. We've only got the 1 flat ranged. which is pretty low for wave 6 already. Like usually you get like a couple. Take some speed though. We're gonna re-roll that one and take some max HP. There's another level 2 SMG, which is fantastic. That's gonna give us a level 3 here. Alright, there's another shotgun, which we're gonna use to upgrade to a level 2 here. And yeah, now we've got all 6 of our weapons are at least level 2, which is great. Damage output is significantly improved. You can see just how fast we put down the large enemy that spawned there. I mean, when we get to focus on a single enemy, we can do a ton of damage. But the SMGs with their lack of piercing actually makes them like pretty bad against crowds, which again is why the shotguns are important, because shotguns do have piercing. But again against if we can focus down large enemies, then we can do a ton of damage with all our concentrated fire on them. Some crit chance and elemental damage, but we go for the recycle there. I mean, crit chance can be okay when we have a higher damage, but right now, like, investing in crit chance just isn't worth it. Isn't worth the materials, or we'd rather have the materials rather. We get another SMG there, so we got 2 level 3 SMGs now. Still no flat range damage to speak of really, but we are upgrading our weapons, which does increase our damage. And again, as long as we get to focus on these large enemies, we do put them down very quickly, which is good. Especially since we haven't found flat range damage. So the fact that we're still able to deal with these enemies, as long as we're not getting overwhelmed, is a good sign for sure. And you can see our health still stays very full with the amount of attacks we're making, the amount of projectiles we're sending out, and with this enhanced lifesteal with the hero ability. Like even if we take a hit, we regen like basically instantaneously. Then Alien Eyes, which we're gonna take. It's another form of damage. And like we've got 44 HP. We started with an extra max HP, so that makes it a little bit more valuable. And also, like as we pick up percentage damage, which we do have some percentage damage, that is going to affect our Alien Eyes as well. And any kind of like projectile modifiers we have will affect Alien Eyes as well. So like Baby with a Beard, or like a bandana, or a Ricochet, which of course are very premium items with a guns build like this. And yeah, you can see how like we kind of struggle a little bit with this wave that a lot of classes our weapons generally are fine with, but that's because SMGs are just without any piercing, they're really bad at dealing with crowds. And they're very good weapons, don't get me wrong, but when dealing with crowds, they get overwhelmed pretty easily, as they can only hit one thing at a time. And that's why we need the shotguns to complement them. As you can see, each shotgun shot is kind of taking out a chunk of enemies at a time, rather than just like one at a time. There's some range damage finally on our level up. Take a roll there. There's some percentage damage, but we're gonna take one more roll, take some max HP. That's gonna help our Alien Eyes. Also, we're gonna get our level 3 shotgun that we locked here, as well as there's another regular shotgun here. Which we're gonna go to 3 shotguns, just because we don't want to focus our power too much into one shotgun, rather and have just like one level 1 shotgun and one level 4 shotgun. We want to spread it out a little bit better, so we combine the SMGs instead and go to 3 shotguns and 3 SMGs, which I think is fine. Like I said, I like the 4 and 2, but 3 and 3 I think is absolutely serviceable as well. Like. In fact, like it might be better. I don't know. For some reason, the 4 and 2 just appeals to me personally. But that could be just because it works better if you actually get a lot of flat range damage, and your SMGs are really like tearing through things. But since we're kind of lacking damage a little bit, like the shotguns might even just be more effective here, as we are getting overwhelmed by chunks of enemies here, or large groups of enemies. So the piercing on the shotguns are keeping us alive here. Some extra lifesteal, but we lose some knockback with the whetstone. There's another boxing glove and an Alien Eyes here. Considering the Alien Eyes, the boxing glove, and the tardigrade, take the boxing glove and we pass on the tardigrade and alien eyes. We don't have like a ton of HP, so I figured alien eyes isn't going to be all that effective. Like we don't want to be spending hundreds of materials. If we get one for free, then I'm happy to take it, but and yeah, you can see the knockback, keeping the mummies at bay. Like it's not knocking them away like super well, but it does it keeps them in place, so they're not actually getting on top of us at least. But our damage is definitely lacking here. We need to pick up some more flat range damage as soon as possible, as it's taking a while to put these mummies down, even when we have concentrated fire on them. I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed here, but we are managing the crowd pretty well and kind of kiting them around. It's just as long as enemies don't spawn on top of us or right in our path, then we're okay. We take a decent chunk of percentage damage there. Again, we need that flat range damage to make that percentage damage really worth it, though. We get another. We do keep finding weapons though, so that's positive. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to combine to get this level 2 SMG in, so we do have to sell our level 1 SMG for it. A little bit inefficient, but I think it's worth it for the upgrade on the gun here. And here's our first elite fight, which I don't know that we're going to be able to take it down. We're doing our best to put some damage onto it, but unfortunately we do have to kind of go into survival mode, as we're just not, the damage pace just isn't there, and we're not clearing enemies nearly fast enough to be able to do it. Take it down. But fortunately, like with all this lifesteal, we like our survival power is pretty high up there, I would say. Just because, like, I mean, again, you can see how fast our health regens when we take hits, and we've been taking quite a few in this one, but we regen back to full like super fast. Some dodge at the cost of armor here. Decide against it. Shop full of level 3 weapons, but none of them are appealing to us here. We get another shotgun, which gives us an upgrade. There's a piggy bank, but it's probably a little bit too late for piggy bank, I think. There was an SMG in there as well that I did skip, and that's actually just a mistake. I just completely glossed over that. That's my bad. Again, our damage just like it's just not showing up, unfortunately. So we're just kind of struggling to. We don't really have the stopping power to knock all these big enemies down, unfortunately. Like we're still okay. Like again, all this lifesteal does make it so that we can survive really well, even through this damage of 1 HP per turn. You can see our health stays very high, even though we're overwhelmed here. We're able to kind of maneuver around and. Unfortunately, we can't like maneuver to the middle though. Like our damage isn't nearly good enough to do that, to be able to pick up these materials on the ground, which is very unfortunate. But we do manage to dive there at the end through a mostly thinned out horde there. More percentage damage for this level up, or we could take a roll. Take the percentage damage anyways. We get some extra HP with the alien magic. There's level 3 SMG, which we are not going to pass this time, at least. And yeah, I mean, like you can see, like our damage has not really increased all that much since the beginning of the game. Like we started doing 3, and now our SMGs are doing like 12, which is not great. I think our level 4 weapons are doing roughly 20 though. But on average, our damage just isn't quite where it needs to be. This is a horde wave. I'm certain. As you can see, we're very overwhelmed, but again, our lifesteal really doing work here. Lifesteal is managing to keep up with the horde here, even as we kind of dive through to get out into a safer area. Yeah, again, our lifesteal keeps our health nice and high, so we're not in real danger of dying at least, but our wave clear is just absolutely abysmal here, but we're making it through waves, and that's all that really counts in this game. There's another alien magic. Also another boxing glove, which like our knockback isn't quite where we want it to be, so we might take another boxing glove. But I guess not. I guess I do decide against it here. I mean, like, well, we're gonna have to deal with the mummy wave again on wave 17. So that is something to think about. But again, investing in 2 gloves already, I think taking a 3rd one maybe just felt like it wasn't worth it, and I'd rather invest the small amount of materials we're getting, as we don't have great econ here. Like, since we're not putting enemies down fast enough, we're not getting materials fast enough either. So we have less materials to work with per wave. So investing in another boxing glove is just not quite worth the limited materials right now. Again, we're hemmed in the corner, but we're our lifesteal really putting in work. It just really shows the power of lifesteal, though. Like, to see like how poorly we get an anvil out of a chest here, which is fantastic. It's a level 4 item that says that it upgrades one of your weapons every single wave, and once you have nothing left to upgrade, it starts giving you +2 armor. So that's an absolutely fantastic weapon. It's a little bit late, but I mean, it's a legendary item. They usually don't show up till later either, but yeah, that's a great one to get. That means we're not gonna have to buy any more guns for the rest of the game. Pretty much, we're just gonna get upgrades for free, which is again fantastic. It gives us both econ as well as armor once all our enemies or all our weapons are upgraded. But yeah, what I was saying, like, these shows you how powerful lifesteal can be if you can get a decent amount. It does take a bit to invest in to get up to like 25-ish lifesteal, like you start with on sick here. But on other classes, like if you can invest and get your lifesteal up to a decent number, it just shows that it can go a long way to just keeping you alive. Again, our damage is absolutely abysmal. Just not nearly what we want it to be here. But that's just we're just not having the best level ups or the best shops here for range damage, unfortunately. Level 1 SMG, which we are going to take, as we can. It's still another extra SMG to add to our inventory. And there's a fin. A fin is actually really nice. It's going to give us an even more lifesteal, so that increases our survivability even. This is wave 17, where those mummies spawn that I was talking about before. But yeah, also fin is going to give us a bunch of move speed, which is very good. As you can see, we can kind of zip around a little bit better and slip out of sticky situations easier. Yeah, again, our damage not nearly good enough to keep these to put these mummies down. Fortunately, we do have some knockback to keep them at bay, but we're not pushing them away super hard or anything, because I mean, I'm pretty sure SMGs have no knockback, so the 2 boxing gloves don't like add a ton, as it is a stat that needs to be increased. But we do survive. Again, that's the name of the game. Name of the game is just to survive, right? We just got to get to the end. And be alive, and that's still a Danger 5-1 run, even if we're not destroying the bosses every single time. Unfortunately, we don't really pick up anything in that shop. Just a bunch of rolling and then nothing. But we have our second elite fight, and this is going to be a tough one. Wave 18, we've got these brown enemies that charge at you and are immune to knockback. So these ones are tough to deal with. On top of all these eggs spawning from this elite, as well as the elite will be spawning tentacles pretty soon here. And there's the tentacles now. So that creates a pretty dangerous mob behind us. But our lifesteal just manages to keep up, manages to keep us alive as we kind of dance around the outside here. Just we keep taking hits, but our lifesteal is up to the task of keeping us alive there. So we managed to outlast the elite. And this is a pretty scuffed run, I would say, but again, we're surviving. We're getting there every single wave. We still don't even have 10 ranged flat range damage on wave 18 here, or wave 19 now. And we have barely any materials to work with either. So we take one last roll, and unfortunately it's nothing really there for us. The anvil is going to give us our full suite of level 4 weapons though next turn. And yeah, here's wave 19, where they just throw basically everything that you fought up until now all at once, sort of at you. We're not putting enemies down fast, as you might expect, with our very, very low damage. But yeah, this is I feel like the RNG in this run was just very, very poor. It just didn't cooperate with what kind of we were going for, or hoping for from the beginning of the run. But I mean, that's what you get when you play these roguelike games. Sometimes the RNG cooperates, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you just gotta find other ways to win. And in this instance, we're just relying on our lifesteal. And the lifesteal's doing it. It's getting there for us. Alright, now we have a full suite of level 4 weapons. But like, there is some amount of damage in that, but it's clearly not enough, as you can see with how poorly we're dealing with these waves. But it's we're kind of just a tank build, but we're not really a tank. I guess we're a regen build, but we're a survivability build anyways. And unfortunately, yeah, we don't really add much in this last shop either. This shop's just not cooperating at all, right to the very end. So here we go. Let's see if we can outlast these bosses. This is the longest wave at 90 seconds. So we'll see. You can see we're dealing with the early enemies pretty well. The high rate of fire knocks down the small enemies, but once these large enemies start spawning in and charging at us, then that's when the real test begins. We wanted to put one of these bosses, at least one of these bosses, down to 50 health, or down to 50% health. The upright one that doesn't have the projectile swinging around it, that one, if you can get it 50%, it sort of takes off and starts. And they're not both on you the whole time. And then the other one, we did get the other one to 50%, or maybe not 50%, but it got to stage 2 anyways. And so what that does is it stops charging at you and starts just shooting waves of projectiles in addition to the rotating projectiles. So that makes it a little bit more manageable. The charging, like with the sort of spinning projectiles around it, does end up making it pretty tough to dodge. But yeah, things get pretty hairy at the end there, but we do manage to survive. We managed to scrap our way through this run, even with so little material, so little damage, and it's just lifesteal. That's all this was. This is just a lifesteal run, and yeah, I managed to get there somehow, against all odds, basically, or maybe lifesteal's just actually busted. So, but yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. Leaving a like lets YouTube know that it should recommend my content to more people, and I would very much appreciate that. But yeah. All that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.